Hey, this is Nate English here with Gregory Kennedy again, covering the first stage of the Vuelta. I was surprised how things went a little bit. How was it for you, Gregory? What was like the most exciting part or the most interesting part, and what was like the biggest surprise? And like, are
Yeah,
you
I mean,
happy with the result?
oh my God, super exciting. Froome got dropped, right? I didn't really see that one coming, or maybe I had hoped for a different outcome, but he was getting dropped in the Criterium de Dauphiné, and I thought that he would just rest up and he's just, the invincible Froome, and clearly he's not. And it's interesting to note that Ineos didn't even go back for him. They
Yeah.
just kept riding like Carapaz is the leader, and there you go. Carapaz came in second. So
Just real quick for people that didn't watch all of it, there were like two climbs going to the finish over the last like 30K or so. Froome got a little bit gapped off on the penultimate climb, and it was unclear because obviously you can't see everything, but he might have been gapped off by other people, but he was like kind of riding his way back and just got in touch over the top of the last climb, but couldn't stay on the descent, and then rode up the last climb solo like off the back. And the front group was like maybe 40 riders at that point going into the last climb. It was interesting. I thought like it's always hard. Like I find that I'm more optimistic about people's capacity to like ride well, and then I see them like crumbling, and I'm like, why aren't they like up there? And not just Froome, but there's like the whole peloton. I'm like, why are there only like 20 guys going into the last climb together? Like there were some climbs, but it's like not a big deal, you know. But I guess I don't know. Yeah, like I feel like this year probably had a bigger impact on people's training than maybe I realized, and they just don't have the depth. Because like I feel like on a normal year, you'd have still like 20 guys in the front group halfway up the last climb, and like 80 guys just 2 minutes behind them. But I feel like it exploded to a degree that it's not what you would see in a normal year. Are you happy with the result? Oh, like I
uh,
don't know, like you have your favorites and stuff.
yeah, I mean, it's exciting. Like like I was saying earlier, it's still for me. It plays out as the pirate ship of Grand Tours, right? Like the end, just everything exploding. It was almost like every man for himself. Like everyone just kind of like, dude, you just do what you can do. Like I'm just gonna do what I can do. And I think Jumbo, right, with Roglic and Sepp Kuss was the only team that seemed to have some kind of cohesion.
Yeah,
Uh,
they were the only ones strong enough to have a few guys up there. And not just in the front group. Like they had three guys in the front group, and then Bennett got dropped. But right behind, there was still Dumoulin, like in the second or third group, just like in the top 10 or 12. So that'll be fun and exciting. Like they have a strong team. But also, like, I think that looks a certain way because they were up there at the front at the end, and it's like easier to recognize them as a strong team. But Ineos put a lot of work in over the last two climbs setting up Carapaz, and so like their guys pulled off like at the bottom of the last climb and part way up, and so Carapaz was alone, but his team was really strong with like four or five guys riding the front up until like 10K to go. So it'll be interesting. It
yeah,
sucks.
good.
Your one of your picks for interest of to watch yesterday, Woods crashed, and who knows if he's even in the race now. I don't know, we'll see.
That looked rough, man. You couldn't see the crash, or I didn't see any footage of the crash, but
Yeah.
you did see him like kind of stumbling around, dazed, like he looked
Yeah.
like he was in pain, and he looked like he was definitely frustrated, right? Like this narrow little road on the first day, it's a
Yeah.
little wet. He's just out. And then, EF tried to do what they could do with Carthy there at the end, which was it was it was nice. Like he did the best he could, but he was clearly like outgunned at the end.
I think, do you know how old he is?
I don't.
I'm interested to look him up because like I'm aware that he's there, but like I didn't pick him as like somebody to watch. And he's clearly really strong for climbing, so he'll be up there if he's up there today. But it's funny because like his attack was good for getting screen time, but it wasn't good for racing. Like it was too early, and you have to be like a really good time trialist to be able to go like do a pursuit at the end with like a hard 1K effort with like 10 guys that are all strong following you, you know. So you
Right.
need to be Roglic to be able to do
Right. I
that.
don't think he like if I was I mean like I was looking at that guy feeling like that's what I would have done. I'd be like, well, this is the best I'm gonna do, and I know I'm not gonna win on the
Yeah.
final climb, right? Like that's
Yeah.
just like I'm not gonna beat a Carapaz or an Esteban Chavez or something. So there's this little descent and some twisty stuff that maybe I can kind of like fake him out and
Yeah.
just go for it.
Yeah. Sepkus was cool, like riding strong up at the front. It'll be fun to see like where he ends up and if he's just was like murdering himself in support, or if he's gonna be up there like every day, like Froome and Wiggins like several years ago, where there's like the team leader but somebody else who's like just as strong maybe or almost as strong, because I feel like Roglic is a really strong all-around rider, but the Volta is like extra climbing heavy compared to the Tour. So I almost feel like a smaller, like pure climber tends to have the advantage here. So I guess we'll have to see. But I think you have a call, and it's already been 6 or 7 minutes. So I guess we'll call it. Do you have any other final parting thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, like, you sent me that article saying Dumoulin wants to go for the win. So I think the drama is going to be the Jumbo Visma Cup. Like, who is
Yeah,
going to win between Roglic and Dumoulin? And I think that will be the narrative of the Vuelta this year.
yeah, it'll be fun to watch. We'll see. Cool. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you, buddy.